So I started recording. Okay, I'm not sure that I'm fully understand the agenda for today. So I think the first one was notification. Yeah, contest discussion. Okay, so then Mitya, could you please explain where we are now, or who will present that contest?
I have no idea. Like I wasn't coordinating that work. Katya does, but she's on vacation.
Okay, yeah, so I see that someone was mentioned there.
There are tagged people near any part of the agenda, so maybe we should get them to join.
Okay, I don't know who are those people actually.
You just tag them. You don't need to know who are they to tag them.
Absolutely. Okay, how to?
There is web counters, Timofab, and Ivan.
So I think not joined anyone from that group now.
Last time I suggested to talk about common interface for web browsers, for web browser extensions, and then I just didn't show up. Sorry for that.
Let's start from
I'll try to explain what I meant.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, let's start from that.
What did you say?
Great.
Yeah. Okay. So it started when I read an interview of, I don't remember who, sorry. He said that one of the problems is that when you're building a web app, you have, if you build it for a certain extension, it wouldn't work for another. Same thing for users. They have to install all extensions to actually use all kind of DApps. If you want to use the DEX by SubGov, you need one extension. If you want to use TonSwap, you need the extension by Broxus. So the obvious solution is to have some kind of a JS package, JS module that would interact with all the extensions. For that, you need to have some kind of common interface so that it would be able to interact with all those extensions. So at first thought, it sounds like nice and easy. They all support the same basic operations. Why not just do it? But as someone pointed out in the chat, the main problem is with tip 3. Every web extension developed their own implementation of tip 3. And that makes things problematic. It means you can't, for example, even if you have some kind of a way to interact with, suppose you are building TonSwap and you have a way to interact with SubGov's extension. They have a different implementation of tip 3, so it wouldn't be compatible with your extension, anyway. So what do?
You support different interfaces. What's the problem? Like you support different smart contracts. Also, how do you want to interact with that? Because if you think of interaction with that in a custom interface way, then that's precisely why the reason why you shouldn't. One of the problems with the custom interfaces is that you need to build them for customly for every bloody contract. Even the thinking of standard for a smart contract is plain stupid. Sorry, because think of the smart contract just as a regular program. So instead of making an operating system API stable, you need to make programs, different programs, having the same APIs. This is plain stupid, because different programs exist because they provide different functionality, therefore they have different APIs. The way to standardize this is through the same interface API, which is what debot is. This is like, how do I put it? This level of stupidity of even this agenda in general.
Please,
It's like taking. I'm just expressing my view now.
Let's not call.
No, wait.
It's not.
It's not people. It's architecture. So when you think about the blockchain as a general computing platform, there is dozens of years in experience of how to build the general purpose computer systems, and never in the history of computing we had an approach where the program should follow the same, should have the same APIs across all the functionality. It never happened because it's, again, plain stupid. No one in a normal mind would propose such a thing for a general computing problem. Why we are proposing this for blockchain is because we had a very limited, like the old computing platforms with the first generation of block or second generation of blockchain. Now you have a general purpose computer platform now. So think about this way. How do you go about the programming on that? How do you go about the program interaction with the computing platform? Just think about it for the second. It's a very easy question. You learn it in the second year in your computer science class. It's not such a hard problem. It's already been solved many times over.
Okay,
there is no problem that you have a different implementations of a program. The problem is that you have a custom you're trying to build custom interfaces for all of them. Well, yeah, if you build a custom interface for the custom API, well, you have to add your custom interface for every API. But there is a better way. That's all.
So we're basically saying we should just use the bots and to hell with.
This is the only way to build a normal computing platform. I would say this very simply and straightforward. Well, the other approach must die. It will die anyway, because just not scalable. And trying to implement the same standard to classify all programs into like 5 classes or 6 classes, how many classes you want to classify them, for just being able to not build dozens of hundreds of custom interfaces for every custom interface you do, well, up to you. Just tell me. Like when should we stop? When this idea would really think, like when you will, Noam, when is the number where you would also think that this idea is totally stupid? Give me this number.
No, I agree. It's just that the bots are very limited right now.
Like, yeah. So
no, let's not mix up the bot.
You need to extend the functionality of the debot. Then, like, and there is an open consortium for that, which works very well. It's a very rapidly developing consortium, and interfaces are being added all the time. You go propose an interface, and it's built. It's very simple.
I wrote some PR, you probably saw it, for a GraphQL interface, and I got vague feedback of we plan to improve such interface from Nikita, and basically the discussion around it died.
Well, you can do it yourself first of all. Like, nobody's stopping you, because we're actively looking for contributors into this repository. It's open source repository with open interface and so on and so forth. And second, of course, there's a limited resources of people who work on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I opened a pull request. Never mind, it's not the subject right now. So basically, what you're saying is the problem doesn't exist. That's, I guess, that's
I'm saying the problem
solution
exists, but this problem had been solved like probably more than 100 times over the history of computer science. And it's only be solved in one direction only. And that's the direction I propose. I don't know. There is simply no other way.
Okay.
Okay, Andrei, do you still want to say something?
Yeah, I'll write it in the chat. So Crystal Wallet and Ton Wallet use the same TP contracts.
Oh. So maybe it was a problem with another extension. I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, I see that several people joined. Are we? Is there anyone who can present that notification contest? So still no so still no authors on the call. Okay.
See, wait, there is web counters here.
Yeah, well, counter by the way.
So
Yeah, whoever it is, web counters, could you please say something about the
notification.
contest? Yeah, notification. You're welcome. Yeah, or she, a bit hesitant. I see.
She.
Well, if you don't have somebody to present that contest, so the next one was from Ivan, but he's not on the call as
Here
well.
and yeah, very productive, I must say.
So what should we do? I think we can wrap up at the moment.
I think people we should have some incentive for people who propose ideas for agenda to actually come and talk about them.
There is incentive. I mean, it's very clear, it's very simple. In each contest, you have admin percentage. So if you propose a contest and it was accepted, then you get quite a number of tokens for that. And if you divide it by number of hours, then I think it's worthwhile to do, to write contest. It's quite profitable activity.
Well,
if somebody didn't know it, so I can say that, guys, it's not for free or just for fun. It's also has some monetary value behind it.
Oh, by the way, would we have something like that in the BFT governance? BFTG?
It should be, yeah. It's easy. I mean, compared to everything else, paying for approved proposal is very, very simple. Just percentage for the one who proposed it, or for some DAO which proposed it. By the way, so I have some debt in front of developer experience SubGov. I still was not able to write testnet support contest draft, but I promise that I will do it at some point. Also, I will draft a contest for kind of card game NFT constructor because for some simple standardized mechanics like where you have some story tree or you have some card game, there is a possibility to make a website which will automatically create all objects and deploy them. So we discussed it with Ben, and I think it would be very nice to have several that type of projects
You're not talking about his idea of how did you call it, 7S bus?
Yes, exactly. It was born by this.
Because his idea is not possible in a decentralized manner without witness encryption. That's what I think from what I thought about it. Because you have no other way to protect from brute force. There are just too few possibilities.
Actually, as far as I understood, the idea was also to create that tree type game where you have some different situations, combination texts, and in each interaction to create it through some constructor. So that's how I understood that idea. If you understand it better, could you please explain?
Ben's idea is that you have situations. It's like those books you had in the past that you can choose what to do, and then it's like a text adventure game, a little. But the idea was, as I understood it, that there would be 7 possible ways to win the game, and the first winner for each path would get some NFT. The obvious problem is what do you do against brute force? And the answer is you have nothing to do against brute force if you want it to remain decentralized. I mean, the way you can protect from brute force is by requiring payment each time you start the game. For example,
yes.
But the problem is, if it's all in blockchain, you can simulate the whole thing in your computer until you find a solution. There won't be that many options. The only way to make something that you can simulate without paying is using witness encryption, so that you would know what the next step is only if you can prove that you paid a certain fee. And witness encryption isn't a practical implementation of it right now. Maybe you can. I believe that if you just take some papers, you can make something that would work, maybe slowly, but there isn't actually an implementation everywhere I searched. So I think his idea can't be done in a decentralized
What
manner.
about ZKP?
What do you need ZKP for?
The same story, yeah, Mitya, the same story. Because if you can simulate it, that's I mean, that's was very interesting, because exactly I made that comment. There was a Clubhouse discussion with Eric Weinstein and Belaji, the guy who actually projected that coronavirus crisis, and he's now a bit famous in US. And he was trying, and they discussed that McAfee death, whether McAfee could put something on blockchain which can at some point reveal some archive of documents which he collected, because community believes that he collected a lot of police documents and stuff like that. And I comment, guys, I mean, it's impossible. If you have something on blockchain, then you can simulate it and get
unless you have time lock puzzle.
But on chain, that's the problem. On chain, you cannot have it on chain.
Why not?
Simulate it. Oh, okay, you can simulate it and make fake validators which will show fake time. That's exactly the point.
No. Why? It's no.
If you fork
It's
your
hard to
blockchain,
get all. No, but it would be hard to get all validators on board, or at least 50% of them. And even if you, I mean, if it's not very, very important, I think if 50% of the validators say the time is such and such,
absolutely.
it should be enough.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine that you have blockchain from one account. I mean, let's imagine that there is
No, it's work like
secret
it's more
account.
like VDF. It doesn't work. It doesn't depend on the real time.
Yeah, I mean, VDF, but you do not have blockchain acting as VDF, or at least at very slow VDF. If you run it, I mean, imagine you just take that one account, fork it, make a blockchain with one validator and one account.
No, but wait, time lock
And
puzzles
then
are
simulate
well, time lock puzzles without any blockchain take sometimes. Well, the last known one took like
Exactly.
10 years to crack.
I'm just saying that it's not a blockchain story. Anyway, I mean.
Yeah, but you can put it on blockchain if you want.
Sure, but
you can prove that you solved it on blockchain. What else do you need?
I'm just saying.
My
Okay.
favorite is one that it also works with witness encryption. I think Mitja sent me the link about it. That if you can prove that such and such blocks were generated in Bitcoin, that means such and such minutes have passed. It's really cool because it would be solved without any additional effort.
It's nice, by the way. So you can show, you can show hashes. I mean, you can show the height of Bitcoin, and it's easy to verifiable. By the way, it's a good idea. It's external proof of time.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's a nice idea. It's a nice idea.
I send this link to Noam.
Yeah.
Yeah, please send it to me as well. It's interesting. Anyway,
sure.
my idea for regarding what Ben proposed is not to distribute some rewards, but just to make simple. I mean, some people play not for NFT, but for some reward, but play for fun. If you can create some story, book game.
Do you know that there is a game already on, like, very nice game played with ZKP, which is a strategic game. I don't remember the name, but I can look it up. There is a strategic game using ZKPs on positioning on the map where you reveal the positions of like other people on the map, and the whole map is like a ZKP construction where there is a proof that someone has a plot in the land, but you don't know where it is. You need to discover it over the game.
Okay, that's cool.
I see, Mitya. It's I mean, Morской Boy.
It's more a little bit more elaborated than Morской Boy. It's like if you ever played Travian, that's the kind of very similar to that game.
But anyway, I mean, I think it will be amazing to create. I don't know how to translate it. I mean, sea battle to make it ZKP game that type and make debut for it. It will be absolutely amazing, I think. What do you think? I mean, it will be excellent showcase, much better than we had before.
In terms of use of ZKPs?
Yes, ZKPs and debuts as well. Because if you think that you can play with everyone in Morской Boy or at Sea Battle. No, by the way, do you know what is it?
Sea Battle, well, it's known game. Yeah, well, you kind of place ships in the squares, and you don't show it to other person. The other person shoot it on the saying your coordinates. You know that game, of course.
It's a Sea Battle. Didn't know the. I just didn't know the name.
I think it's called Sea Battle in the English as well. I mean, but anyway, so that kind of game, yeah, you could play like that.
I think I had a version of it which was just called Solelot. Submarines for known seekers.
Okay, so I will write contest for that as well. I have the third contest.
Yeah,
By
but
the way,
some more interesting
you could also
mechanics.
make simple. I think you could also. I think I wrote a long time ago about it, that you could make some kind of. You could make a poker smart contract again with ZKP, with a lot of mix nets and all that, but in general you could enforce the rules of poker. So it would just be nice to have a provable poker, so you can be sure that no one is cheating.
Poker between unknown parties in the blockchain. What about that, Elon Musk? Nice. Okay, I will think about this as well. You see, and again, indie bot, guys.
Of course. You don't even need an image interface for that. You just have Unicode characters for cards.
Yeah, exactly. It's very lightweight. Should be very lightweight.
We do have a problem that the bots can't right now support ZKP, but that's a non-important.
Why not?
fact.
I mean, they
it
cannot.
wasn't in, not by principle. It just wasn't integrated yet, and I think no one even thought about how to integrate it. Maybe it would be one of the job tasks of cryptography sub-governance.
Why not? I mean, it should be. I mean, it has TVM inside. So once TVM will include Growth 16 primitive, then the bot will have that support as well.
But Growth 16 primitive right now is about verification, not about proof.
Yeah, okay, that's a different story. Okay, we had a big discussion with Mikhail about it, and Andrei as well, that we should have a compiler which will generate code in probably Solidity or C++, which will be compilable into TVM, that will create proofs, and that code you can place in a smart contract, and then the bot will be able to generate proofs locally. That's the story.
With no new instructions, just virtualized logic?
You just you just create a proof program, in compile it into TVM, and then the bot will be able to run it locally.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you can use CPP in how. I mean, I guess the C++ we have is a little limited, but you can probably do that. Yeah, you can probably implement it all.
Absolutely. Anyway, the bot will run it in TVM. So CPP in that respect is only just an intermediate representation.
And there is only one more thing that needs to be done before. We need, since Growth 16 requires a trusted setup, we need to first have a mechanism to produce a decentralized trusted setup for proofs.
Oh yeah, I think this should be one of the first goals of cryptography.
Yeah, it's in the proposal itself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just saying that it can't be all of it. None of it can be. None of the ZKP things can be used right away. Just that.
Yes, yes, only for tests at the moment.
Well, there is a ZKP construct. Well, it's not the topic of this like developer experience. I think it's like by the way, I want to join the cryptography subgovernance, but it's just no time now to do that happily, because I have a lot of like
Yes.
Write
Thanks.
contest for them, Mitya, right? I mean, just by the way, Noam.
Well, I want to
do-
add a
do you-
lot of cryptography to FreeTON. Like we need a lot of cryptography.
but-
Like
but,
BLS, we need for the new consensus. To the implementation of the node, I mean, we need.
You're not
And,
talking
like, we need to
about virtualized
support-
logic. You're talking
No,
about
no,
the
I'm talking
node
about
itself.
supporting the different cryptography in the TVM on the node level, so we can use it within smart contracts, right? And having one
we added Route 16 verification.
Exactly. Exactly. And we need, and of course, again, I always like the growth 16, of course, it's like nice, but it's a very, you have many new ZKP constructions, which should be researched, like Planck and all that stuff, which should be researched. And we should think about also, like in that respect, we also need to think because like ZKPs can be used for many different things within like the TON OS, and we're limited now with growth 16 kind of construction, right? So we need to think what is the like other constructions we want maybe to add, and we also need to think
like
about
ZK
post-quantum.
Starks or
some
other
would be,
thing. Some
Starks
other
would
thing
be
with
absolutely
no
awesome.
Starks are heavy.
or in
Starks are
general
heavy.
something that doesn't require a trusted setup.
Yeah, but the Planck, for example, Planck doesn't require it, and it's snark. But we need to think about Starks because of post quantum properties of Starks.
Yeah, we have some time, but
well, we kind of do. Yeah, I agree that we have some time, but we're like, if we want to, we will need to catch up because a lot of research is going on right now on Ethereum, if we want to catch up on that, we will have to think about that. But even without ZKPs, like we need much more cryptography on the node level, and that's quite kind of supposedly easy to add
you mean
the
simple things like encryption, decryption,
encryption, like BLS, like
hash.
Like other cryptography constructions, which then like the smart contract can decide like what it wants to use for different purposes. I'm not just saying like adding in other curves or stuff like that, but something more interesting like threshold, I don't know, other like stuff like that.
By the way, why don't we have why do we use SHA-256 and not SHA-3 like in Ethereum?
Well, that's a very good question. It's an excellent question, and to which there is no answer.
That's what was in the original Tom white paper.
Yeah, exactly. But there is absolutely no reason we shouldn't improve on that. But there is no reason. Yeah, we need like Peterson hashes and then other hashes as well, like which would be used for different like cryptography stuff, and different curves like for different cryptography, and so make it really open to smart contract developers to use in kind of different applications.
I suppose you would have more time after the Rust Cup.
Yeah, a little bit. I guess. I hope. I don't know. As we need to implement this whole thing and like described in white paper. Well, not everything, but whatever is not implemented, and there is a lot that is not implemented. So there is a lot of work.
I like it how any SubGov call with Mitya in there it quickly becomes a Mitya AMA.
No, but not at all. I just not at all. I was shut up for 40 minutes. What do you want?
But by the way, Noam, do you have already timing for cryptography SubGov calls meetups?
I think right now Mikhail says we should use SMV. I really don't have the nerves to review SMV and work on making sure we can use it and adding contests logic and all that. But we still don't have the old style governance interface, which is understandable. No, we
can ask.
already asked. It's in the wheels.
Really?
Things are.
Oh,
Yeah, someone is supposed to do that somewhen. Anyway, it would happen eventually, I guess. But right now we can't really pass proposals or do contests, so we can only think theoretically right now.
I'm just asking about specific timing, or you would like to vote for it? Do you have? I mean, we can agree time for
Specific
meetup.
timing for what?
For meetup.
For calls.
For meetups, yes.
That would be, yeah, we can make polls, but the question is, do you have anything to discuss yet?
Okay, at least agenda. I mean, at least what contests you plan to do and who will write drafts.
Yeah, I guess we should start working. You need governance interface to vote on a proposal, but you don't need it to write a proposal. So yeah, I guess we should just start working. I'll ask them. Maybe we'll make a poll or something. We should make sure that it wouldn't collide with DevEx and DeFi, but in DGO, but all the others are non-technical, so it should be fine to collide with them. Yeah, we should just decide on some hour. I'll talk to them. Am I talking to myself? No.
We're still here.
Okay, just.
Okay, thank you for your answers. So if we still don't have, and I see that nobody joined, nobody new people joined. So we don't have anything to discuss right now. We can wrap up.
Yeah.
If not mind. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. It was a great cryptography call.
Thank you, guys.
So it was SubGov cryptography SubGov call 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Setup call. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, done. Guys,
Bye.
thank you everyone. Bye bye.